very much. You notice? No teleprompter. We don't have teleprompters. I just said, how many of these people are using teleprompters? They said almost all of them, so we can't do that. You know, I just left Trump National Doral in Miami, and it's a great place. I just spent $250 million rebuilding it, making it the best resort in the country, and I saw Tiger Woods this morning, Ernie Els, and Phil Mickelson. And I was dressed like this. They said, "Where are you going?" And I said, "I'm going to CPAC." Now, I don't know if they knew what I was talking about. They acted like they did, so that was very impressive. But I created a lot of jobs there. And right down the road, thank you, you look so nice. And right down the road, I'm creating jobs. We start in 1 month on the old post office, which is an incredible building. And tremendous numbers of jobs, lots of money going into it, and it'll be perhaps the most luxurious hotel when we finish anywhere in the world. And we're very proud of it, right on Pennsylvania Avenue, right next to the White House. And between the White House and Congress is sort of an interesting place to be. But I have to tell you that our country is in serious, serious trouble. We owe $17 trillion. Our debt. How do you pay off $17 trillion? Nobody ever heard the expression a number of years ago. The word trillion. We have debt that's beyond belief. We have deficits that nobody can even comprehend. China, which I've been talking about for the last 5 years, yesterday, right in our face, they just devalued their currency. Now, for those that don't understand devaluation, what they're basically doing is saying, we're really ripping you big league. Nobody's ever done it better than us, but now we're going to really do it again. And the reason they did it, and everybody was surprised by it, was because our leadership is so weak and so pathetic that they can get away with it. And believe me, they're taking our jobs, and they're taking them big league. And China's not the only one. You look at other countries, they're all doing the same thing. They have no respect for our leader, and frankly, they have no respect any longer for our great country. And it's so simple to solve. What we need is a strong economy. What we need is jobs. Now, you hear these phony job numbers, 6.7%. The 6.7% is probably 21 or 22% real numbers. When you give up looking for a job, it's like they consider you employed. It's amazing. They changed this. You know, in the old days, if you had people that couldn't find work, they couldn't find work. Today, such a huge number, probably like we haven't had, in fact, some numbers came out, the worst in 36 years. With all of that being said, and when you look at what's going on, we have a president that just today came out with his lowest job approval rating, 38%. And yeah, you know, I'm so torn because actually, in a certain way, I'd love to see him do a great job. I'd love to see him put the country back. I'd like to see him bring the country back, but we all know it's not going to happen. We all know it's not going to happen. His disapproval rating is 54%. When you think of that, it's sort of inconceivable. I mean, we're getting into Jimmy Carter territory. And I never thought I'd see anything like that again. I lived through that time, and it was not a good time. And we're pretty close. I think maybe by next month we will have surpassed the late, great Jimmy Carter. So that's the way it is, and that's the way the country is. And, you know, I want to see something happen that brings the country back. I want to see the potential that this country has. I'm working so hard, and I'll do these things. Al has done an amazing job with CPAC, and it's not that he really has. Where is he? He's around here someplace. He has done really an amazing job. Everybody wants to be here. When he calls, you come here, and we get our point across. I have to tell you, the people in this room are people that want to see this country be great again. It's very simple. Somebody said, who is your audience? Somebody said, who is your audience? Who are they? And I actually said, these are people that love the country, that want to see it be great again. It's very simple. So it's just one of those things. Now, we have a big election coming up in 2014. I believe the Republicans, and conservative Republicans, because the word conservative to me is very important, conservative Republicans, we're going to take the Senate. I believe that. I think that's going to happen. I think in 2016, you'll probably be running against Hillary. I think it's going to be a tough race, but I think it's going to be a race that by that time will be so bad that the Republicans will likewise take that, and then you can actually end Obamacare, which is a total catastrophe. A total catastrophe. The problem is that in 2016, if you look and if you study it like I do, all of the problems are being deferred to the year 2016 after the election. And I don't know how the Republican leadership has allowed that to happen, but it's happening. And I've read a lot of reports saying we're going to drift along, just keep drifting, and 2016, 2017, and 2018 are going to be an economic disaster. And you know, whoever's president, good luck. You're going to have to be very smart. You're going to have to be very, very sharp. But that's the way it is. They say 2016, after the election, 2017 and 2018, economic disaster. Some say economic catastrophe. So we have so many issues. If you think about this country, we have so many problems, and we have so little leadership. So little leadership. And it's all about the leadership. And she agrees with me. I love her. She agrees with everything I'm saying. I like it. You know, if you look at just what's been happening over the last couple of days, Russia and Putin. You know, I was in Moscow a couple of months ago. I owned the Miss Universe pageant. And they treated me so great. Putin even sent me a present, beautiful present with a beautiful note. I spoke to all of his people. And, you know, you look at what he's doing with President Obama, he's like toying with him. He's toying with him. So he has the Olympics. The day after the Olympics, he starts with Ukraine. The day after. How smart. You know, he didn't want to do it during the Olympics. Boom. The day after. So our athletes leave, we all leave, and the day after. And, you know, when he goes in and takes Crimea, he's taking the heart and soul, because that's where all the money is. I was surprised. I heard that the other day. They were saying most of the wealth comes right from that area. That's the area with the wealth. So that means the rest of Ukraine will fall, and it's predicted to fall fairly quickly, because without the money, it's like this country. If we don't make this country great, it's going to fall. It's going to really fall. It's already falling. You go into our airports, you go look at our bridges, you look at our roadways. We're becoming a third world country. So when you see what they're doing in Ukraine, it's just a question of time. Now, Putin is very friendly with Iran. Iran is causing us tremendous problems. Syria, Afghanistan, Iraq. Iran is now selling to Iraq its weapons. Iran has already taken over, essentially, Iraq. It's amazing. Now, we lost tremendous lives, so many wounded warriors. These are great people. I know so many of them. I try and help as many as I can, but so many, so badly wounded. And these incredible people came back to this country. And what have we gotten for it? What have we gotten? We spent $2 trillion in Iraq, and then we pull out. Now, I took a lot of heat, except from conservative people. When we went over there, I said, hey, I assume we're taking the oil. Are we taking the oil? And people said, what a horrible thing to do. You know, in the old days, you had a war. You ever hear the expression, to the victor belongs the spoils? Okay? To the victor. And I took such heat. It actually was Al, it was at CPAC. I said, if we're leaving, take the oil. At least pay us back. And I come out, front page news, oh, Trump is a horrible human being. He wants to take the oil from a sovereign country. Sovereign, give me a break. You see the people ripping off sovereign. Hey. Unbelievable. So, you know who's taking the oil now? Iran. Iran. And what people don't know is that Iraq has the second largest oil reserves in the world. Who knew that? I knew it. Taking a couple of trillion is peanuts. They have 18 trillion underground. Give us 2, just 2, maybe 3. But people went nuts. Now you look at what's going on with Afghanistan. You have Karzai that's treating our president like he doesn't even exist. So they make a deal, and I'm not advocating stay, because frankly, I want to build this country. I want to build these schools. I don't want to build a school in Afghanistan, a road going to the school, watch it get built up and then blown up 4 times, and they keep rebuilding and rebuilding, and you go to Brooklyn, New York, and you can't have schools. You go to Iowa, you can't. You go to wherever you go, and you can't have schools. Because we don't have any money, because we're spending it in other places where, frankly, they don't want us, and I don't want them. And it's amazing. So in Afghanistan, they make a deal, and Karzai said, I'm not signing that deal. These stupid Americans, they're so stupid. They give me bundles of cash. You ever see, I want to know, who is the soldier? Think of this. Like, maybe I have a couple of $100 in my pocket, right? Who is the soldier that carries satchels of $50 million to take care of these people? 50 million. Have you heard this? 50 million. I just want to know, who is the soldier? I guarantee you, unless he's really honest, he's really rich, okay? So we give all this money. Now we're up to over $1 trillion. And it was just revealed the other day that our friends, again from China, we're fighting the war here. And on the other side of the mountain, a lot of people don't realize this, Afghanistan, they didn't think it had wealth, has tremendous wealth in minerals. So on the other side, we're here fighting and getting blown up and all sorts of crap happening. And on the other side of the mountain, you have China taking out all of their minerals. So this was reported big league the other day, but I said it 2 years ago. I knew because I have a lot of friends from China. By the way, I don't dislike China. And you know, Business Week did an article about the thing the Chinese most want. Different elements. The thing the Chinese want, and they had 10 of them. So the top 10 things. Now, I knocked the hell out of China fairly, and my friends respect me for it. They actually say, you're right. They live in China. And they say, you're right. I can't believe we're getting away with it. The thing they most want, you know what? One of the top 10 things? Anything Trump. You believe it? My apartments, my ties, they love me. They love me. I've got the largest bank in the world from China, Chinese bank, the largest in the world, biggest bank in China, is my tenant in one of my buildings. And they said, we'll never leave. We love you. We love the building. Because they're smart, and they respect you if you're smart. They don't respect stupid people. Okay? And that's what they're dealing with. Okay. Obamacare has to be changed. Has to be. Immigration. We're either a country or we're not. We either have borders or we don't. We either have borders or we don't. true. I mean, you know, you have a border, you have a country, and if you don't have a border, what are we? Just nothing. A nothing. And I feel strongly about that. And I have to say, as conservative people and as Republicans, many of you, some are so conservative you don't even want to be Republican, and I understand that too. But as conservative people and as Republicans, when you let the 11 million, which will grow to 30 million people in, I don't care who stands up, whether it's Marco Rubio or and talks about let everybody in, you won't get one vote. Every one of those votes goes to the Democrats. Now, with that, you have to do what's right. You have to do what's right. It's not about the votes necessarily. But of those 11 million potential voters, which will go to 30 million in a not too long future, you will not get any of those votes no matter what you do, no matter how nice you are, no matter how soft you are, no matter how many times you say, rip down the fence and let everybody in. You're not going to get the votes. So with immigration, you better be smart and you better be tough, and they're taking your jobs, and you better be careful. You better be careful. And I just say one other thing. Medicare, Medicaid, Social Security. I listen to people come in and say how we're going to dismantle it, and we're going to just knock the hell out of it. And I'm a friend of Paul Ryan. I like Paul Ryan very much. But I don't like what they're saying. I want to make this country so strong and so rich and so powerful. We have so much energy and so much money under our feet that we don't have to take away people's Social Security and Medicare and Medicaid. You want to stop the fraud, you want to stop the abuse, and believe me, there's plenty of that. But we don't want to do that. You know, they had a vote recently of Tea Party members. These are strong Tea Party members. 79% said, don't touch my Medicare, don't touch my Medicaid, don't touch my Social Security. How the hell do you get elected when you want to do that? I want to make the country so strong. And you can do it. We are sitting on top of something that's so amazing, such incredible wealth. And the way you solve all of these problems is tremendous wealth, tremendous job production, strengthen our military, not weaken. We've weakened our military. We want to cut our military. We listen to Putin about what we're going to get. He said, no, we don't want you to use those missiles. Oh, we won't order them. It's hard to believe. So the bottom line is very simple. Make America strong again. Make America great again. We have such unbelievable potential. We have to use it. We need the right leaders. Thank you all very much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Hey, thank you.